There's one question that every Deltarune fan constantly obsesses over, to an annoying degree. It dominates discussion to the point where it's all people talk about. Who is the Roaring Knight? But people always look at it like it's a puzzle, a mystery to solve. I prefer to look at it from a narrative perspective. Who would be the best antagonist for Deltarune as a story? Who fits the themes the best? And personally, without question, I believe the answer to be Asriel. But I'm not here to just talk about my evidence for the theory. I could go on about how Asriel could easily manipulate Kris to work for them, how the Knight's smug, aura-farming personality matches with Asriel, how Asriel likely made the Sham doll because it was on his computer, that Asriel's bat is an unused weapon in Undertale, how he's the only candidate with an actual motive that has been built up, how the Knight's Crystal Nova is very similar to Asriel's Hypergoner, how the Titan has a similar attack to Omega Flowey in Undertale, the Knight's poses being similar to Kris's poses because Kris took the poses from their brother, how Kris easily communicates with the Knight because they are siblings, them having the same colored Dark Worlds because they are siblings, how the internet outage prevents anyone from confirming if Asriel is really at college, and most importantly, how the Knight has tears falling from its face when we first see it. This connects to the Ribic enemy in Chapter 3, which refers to a lost girl and a crying boy. In this case, the lost girl is Des and the crying boy is Asriel, the Knight. This also connects to hidden text in the Second Sanctuary. This crying boy would be the one who wept rivers of his tears from having his hopes of being with Des destroyed, which in turn created his shadow crystal, which obviously looks like glass. That's all evidence that approaches this topic as a mystery to be solved. I want to look at it from what would make a compelling story. I briefly mentioned that Asriel has the best motivations to be the Knight. We know that Des is lost somewhere in the code, but Asriel was in love with her due to the love letters in his room. So, Asriel attempting to play hero and find her is so tragic, because we know that Des has accepted her new life in the depths. Not because she likes being lost in the code, but because she is content as long as she doesn't forget the wonderful things from her past. Don't forget. Now in Undertale, Flowey, who is Asriel, without emotions, without a soul, does a lot of evil things. But it's also he can feel something. Feel the joy he used to feel when he was alive and play with his best friend Kara. Now imagine Asriel who still has emotions, losing the one they love. It is well within character for him to do anything in his power to try and get them back, even causing the roaring. Asriel ultimately having to accept that he can't change what happened, and that the past and the good old days are gone. And isn't it ironic that in their quest to restore things to how they used to be in the past, they're causing so much damage to the objects and people that not only continue to live and make each other happy, but that were a part of that amazing past that Asriel holds so dear. He needs to learn that he will always have those memories, and that his friends can continue on living to make more memories. That is beautiful, and perfectly fits the themes of Deltarune. This story could hit even harder if it is his or Kris's fault for how Des got lost, but that's a separate theory. My point is, I love Asriel Knight theory, and I truly believe that if it is true that Deltarune could end up being one of the best, most beautiful stories ever. The story of a lost girl and a crying boy, desperate to find her no matter how much pain and suffering it causes.